Hi, I'm Beth from Restyle Pieces Boutique. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be making over a dresser that had a little bit of doggy chews on one of the feet. So we're going to see if we can fix that and get a beautiful modern dresser out of the deal. So if you want to watch this makeover, stay tuned. I actually got this dresser free off of Facebook Marketplace. The people were moving. It is a Bassett solid wood, beautiful. I'm so excited about this piece and the hardware. I just love it. And oh my gosh, when I saw that doggy chew, I thought, oh no, I hope I can make this detail look better. So we'll see what happens with that. First of all, I'm taking off all the drawers and I'm vacuuming and cleaning and rinsing. Very important to clean all that grease and grime off. I'm using my Farmhouse Paint Pure Power Cleaner. And that's getting all the wax, dirt, grease, all the things off so I can prepare my surface to sand and paint. Think your piece isn't that dirty? Oh my goodness, this was just the first little go around on my cleaner and very gross. I like to keep my hardware on my drawers so that I can mess with the drawers and make sure they have enough clearance, that they're sliding smoothly. So I just clean them with the hardware on, then I'm putting all these drawers in to check to see which ones I might need to sand or fix, like that one. It has a split all the way down the side. Should be a pretty easy fix, just glue and clamp. I'm using my Titebond glue, wood glue, and all of the materials that I use in my videos are down below in the description. You can order them from my Amazon shop. I have them in different categories, and hopefully it makes it easy. If you can't find anything, let me know. It's looking smooth and better already. You can't even tell where that crack is, and it will dry seamlessly. So this second drawer, it's kind of hitting on that one side. So I'm making a note because you think when you're getting started on a piece, oh, I'll remember I need to sand that drawer. But there's so many little things that sometimes you forget. So I'm making a note that I want to sand the right side of that drawer and the drawer box. All the rest of the drawers are fine, so I'm taking off my hardware and I'll be cleaning underneath those. I put them in a little container so I can do hardware soup, which is half vinegar, half water, boiled for 15 minutes and scrub with steel wool. And if they come out nice and gold, that's great. If they are still a little dingy, I can spray paint them with Rust-Oleum spray paint. Now here I'm getting this detail off. I'm using my painter's tool and just gently prying a little bit on each side until I get it off. These are tiny little nails and I don't want to lose them. So there's one. And pushing out the other one. There's the second one. There we go. Here I'm scuff sanding with 150 because I saw a lot of dents and dings here and there. So I wanted to make sure I get those out. Sometimes I use 150, sometimes I use 180 to scuff sand. This just scuffs up the surface, the slick surface, so that when you paint, that paint will have something to grab onto and it won't just slide off. Plus I use primer. That also helps with adhesion. I looked at my list this morning. Here's that edge of that second drawer that I'm going to sand off really well. And I've sanded off the inside of that drawer box too. And there we go, success. I'm using the little spongy pads on my Surf Prep sander. and they will go around all those curved areas and get inside those details so I can make sure that that's all scuffed up as well. Just using a damp cloth now to wipe off all the dust. And now I'm going to try using Amazing Putty molding. It's a mold that you put 2 parts together. You use all-purpose Bondo after the mold is finished to put the Bondo inside the mold, and then you slap it on the dresser on the other leg, which is the damaged leg. So I've made a mold of the nice leg, want to put it on the damaged leg, and we'll see how that works. While that Amazing Putty sets up around that leg, I'm going to go ahead and stir up some Bondo to put on some chipped veneer places on my drawers. This dries in about 10 to 20 minutes. It's rock hard, it sands beautifully, and just blends in those little repairs so that they're nice and smooth. Here I'm using Bondo Spot and Glazing Putty. It is in a tube, it's red. I always say I give my pieces chicken pox. So there's dents and dings in there, and I'm just filling those in. It works so well for those little shallow imperfections on your piece. Then I'll come back. Usually I'll come back in 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer. It takes a little longer depending on how thick you spread this, and then I can sand that smooth. Next, I'm going to take the mold off the good foot. I'm going to slit it in the back and try to take it off and open it up. But let me tell you what happened. When I did that, it came off, but it was all out of shape and I just couldn't get it to work. So that was a little disappointing. So I decided, let's just sand those smooth. I don't need all that detail. I just need that little band. So I sanded it smooth. I went over to the other side. I sanded it smooth, and now they match. So much happier with that solution. So now I'm getting out my Festool orbital sander, and I'm sanding this top down to bare wood. It's looking really good, but I cannot stain it because there was a couple chips out of the back corners and they were just too large. So I figured I'm just going to have to paint the top, and that's fine. It'll look great. Now I'm sanding down all the Bondo glazing and spot putty, making that all smooth, and we'll go to the next step. You've seen me do this before. The drawers are flush with the frame, so I'm going to be spraying them with the drawers in. Don't forget to cover up those holes, your hardware holes on the inside. I wrap this up nicely, and then I put my drawers in, and I spray with the drawers in, and then I pull them out a little bit while I'm spraying so I can spray the top edge and the sides. I put all the drawers back in once they're wrapped, and then I'm spraying with Kills Restoration. It is a water-based primer. It's great for adhesion. That means getting your paint to stick to that surface, and it blocks stains and bleed through, and it just makes a nice smooth surface for your paint. It also cuts down on the number of paints. If you have a dark piece and you're going with a light color, then this is pretty much your first coat. And so I will only need 2 coats of my Farmhouse Evolution paint. Once I primed, I saw all the grain in the top, and it's not a pretty grain, and it was pretty deep, so I'm using my DAP Premium Wood Filler. I'm just mixing that with some water to make like a thick, gooey paste, but not so thick it's not that you can't spread it. And I'm using a paintbrush, spreading that against the grain, not with the grain. I'm spreading it against the grain to fill all those grain holes so it can be nice and smooth, and I can have a better, more modern surface to place my paint on. Once that was dry, actually it was the next morning, so I knew it was dry, I just sanded that down with a 180 sandpaper with my Surf Prep sander, and I'll show you in a minute how it filled all of that grain. Take a look at that. The gray parts are my primer, and then all of that white is the nice and smooth wood filler inside that grain now. So it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to take a sandpaper and just do a quick scuff sanding to smooth down my primer before I add paint. I'm using Farmhouse Evolution paint in micro green. It's a beautiful light green with beige undertones, very calming color. Farmhouse Evolution paint is one paint that it dries in about an hour. It's cured in 1 day, so you can get your pieces back to service in 1 day. And it is durable. You don't have to use a top coat. I never use a top coat. It is an acrylic resin paint. You do not need top coat. Now, if you want to change the sheen, I suppose, you can add top coat if you want, but it is durable all on its own. I forgot to mention I am using my Fuji Q5 Platinum Spray System. I think I'm just figuring it out pretty well. Knock on wood, it sprayed this piece so smooth and beautifully. The top is just like glass. I love it. So here's how we started with the brown piece, and now here it is finished. I love that beautiful color and the hardware and those legs that are now perfect and not doggy chewed. And I can't wait to see who purchases this dresser and takes it home. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you were here. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, just hit that bell button down below and that subscribe button, and you will get notified when I have videos that come out. See you later.